Chill here with Sirius Tells Moon. This is Moon Hour. Mars Day. Moon is opposing Lilith from Gemini, and Mercury is 22. What prompted me to press record? Midheaven is 22 as well, and it would be a video that talks about problematic tenets. Now, let me tell you something, okay? When it comes to, I've been tending to political assassination prevention. A lot of these things are done by real estate cartels. A lot of cartels send tenants, they torture the tenant, they cause them to ruin the house, they use energy weapon on tenants, they use computer interface. And I even know of satanic ritual abuse survivors who got tortured, and perhaps that was what they were doing as tenants. Now, again, it's better than doing the death route. Okay? Or an Epstein. And if you are, and I'm going to say it not as an investment consultant, I'm going to say it from the perspective of a person attending to political assassination prevention and was exposed to the connection to real estate, including right to mine minerals. You're not going to like to hear what I say, but it can save you money, it can make your investment less speculative, and it might even save your life. Because, and you're going to hate what I'm saying, because a lot of people sell a lot of bullshit. If there is one homeless person in the country where you invest, I don't care where you live, I care if you think about investing in property or in right to mine minerals, same. It is even one person that is homeless or tenant in shared apartment. Nothing can get you bankrupt faster than shared apartments and countries where where single people can't live freely and safely. You know what? If in your area there are a lot of couples, that each person have their own apartment, that probably is a better place to buy property. Now, I'm not a realtor. If there's even one homeless person or shared apartments, I don't care if they're students, I don't care if they're anything. Section 8 got flipped, okay? Section 8 got flipped. It's not about bad tenants. It's about tortured, raped, and targeted individual tenants that escape usually ritual abuse. Why? Because they weren't willing to rape a child, so they take them to do those things. Now, and then they would try to put them in situations and so on and so forth. But here's the thing. The only safe model is in countries where it's housing first, independent of ability to work for unlimited time. Not Section 8. And one country where it partially exists is Finland. And again, the reason that they have it, because they had to work after the Nazis. They didn't want to work with the Nazis, but they also didn't want to work with the KGB, because the KGB would take and rape their intelligence. Elijah, that's how the Soviet Union fell. And they discovered all they really need. The person looks like they're crazy, like they're this, and so on and so forth. Housing first, independent of ability to work for unlimited time. They begin to remember. Amazing. If that was a KGB person, now they're Finlander. And they'll probably even be a patriotic Finlander. Now again, to the level of partiality that they implement that, that's their susceptibility to invasion. Okay, if they don't implement that well enough, they're susceptible to invasion, and that's true to any country. If you think about a sovereign country, you want to build for the basis. Any other, and I don't care you tell me, but Chile doesn't exist. If it doesn't exist, let's say United States right now has death and concentration camps. Not getting into politics with you. Money, investments. Is it safe to invest in real estate in the United States? What, you want to compete Standard Oil to make a coal mine out of your property? They're not going to ask you for the right to mine the minerals. They got United States to do coal mines in an industry that's going elsewhere. Not going to get into the why and how, extortion calls. So, don't think that your tenants under any company will be safe. No matter how many checks you run, the more checks you see. When these people torture an individual, they do identity theft. So if you would run it through the identity, you're not gonna see anything. They would put it on targeted individuals. Now, each and every one of them knows that that was either already done to them or could be done to them. So if you, the investor or the property owner, basically allow that to be, they see it as you have allowed that to be. So basically, they see it as now they can flip your apartment. There's no reason to. Now here's the thing. When China wanted the city to become a ghost city, it made an entire city a ghost city. It's way easier to do than people believe. When United States wanted certain cities ghost cities, leakage of this, leakage of that, boom, ghost city. That's your right to mine minerals, that's your estate. So even if I didn't give you a venue where you say, oh, if I do this and this and this, I'm going to have that and that. I'm not a realtor. From my perspective, I give you information that can downright save your life, can definitely make your investments way less speculative. From my perspective, I'm not an investment consultant, and I'm not a realtor. And get you to the venue of what is the point of interference. What's the thing that can improve upon? You see, how can I change policies? People change policies all the time. All the time. When I do a really good episode, I don't charge with currency that tomorrow may change. I charge with dividends by the initiatives that people are prompted to take on. It's a different form of dividends. Just as I posted earlier, an episode about relationships. Women talking about the centering man, the this, the that. Somebody come at me, how do I see it? They're not a honeypot. I said, okay. They give on Roy. I mean, what are they doing for a living, right? Are they doing some sort of high tech, which means that they should be able to help? It's something that makes a living. Or they know somebody. Amazing. Rishon LeZion. Ladies get in traffic using energy, not even laser stuff and so on. I'm not here pushing anybody for relationships. And I'm not, but I'm being realistic. You want to have a happy, thriving relationship? The world is changing right now. It needs to change so that people can live. Same with real estate sector. What are you going to do about it? I don't know what you're going to do about it. But if you think that you can hire a company to check the tenants, to check the this, to check the that, none of that works. And it's those companies that are going to flip your apartment. When they want the city out and down, I see cities, every other apartment for sale. People say, oh, that's the time to buy a lot of, if you're Standard Oil, probably. But then you're also probably, running an extortion cult, and then probably, you're probably not taking my advice anyway. Just like when we ask about relationships, or when we buy an apartment, we ask the question, why are you selling, right? Did the children leave? But the house got too big. Okay, why not keep the estate? The children are going to have children. When we date someone, say what went wrong in past relationships, and how would you like to see your future relationships? It's not a job interview thing. It's kind of like, hey, what are the challenges that we could be expecting? If there are challenges that you dealt with, then it's good to learn from the past. And if it is something that you couldn't sort out, then probably we're going to run into that too. I've already said that the motives for, you know, becoming the one that is the estate owner and not the tenant, it usually gets properties flipped quite fast. if you just understand that this is the situation, that these are the forces that currently operate, then if I did one thing, that's to get you out of the mindset of how do I check the tenant, and how do I build an investment model that actually yield housing. Why would somebody pay me for the house? Probably because they're thinking to buy it. Let me tell you about that. If I move to a property, I don't move to a property where I don't think, hey, I might buy this house. Because if I grow in this place, then this place is growing with me. If I live in a place, I learn how to dig half moons, amazing. I dig half moons, make arid land, fertile land. That raises the value of the real estate. Something needs to be fixed in the apartment. And I know how to do it, amazing. I don't know how to do it, if I got a budget to do it, now why? Because, again, I might make money and buy either this estate or similar estate in the neighborhood. I don't lower the value of the estate to get it in a bargain price. Because if the house is housing, I should be growing with it. Also feng shui, okay? Also my business should be growing, also my health should be growing, my relationship should be thriving. If you have this mindset in mind, then you can take properties, I don't know, that maybe don't look so good. I see a lot of people taking properties that don't look so good, invest in them, and so on and so forth. But you also need to consider the area and the country and the policies. If you got initiative, okay, have people, whatever you do for a living, have people pay you with initiatives that are compatible. It's representation. The only reason for a tenant to be a tenant, either, and even if they're a student, by the way, many students look at the apartments they live in and wonder, would they invest in such a property? And the only reason is to either build a house or renew a house, and when a person lives there, they should be growing with the house. And then they buy the house. And you can cut yourself a very fine profit. Or you can share dividends if you assist, let's say, with building material. Just like in currency, we ask, is the currency in the gold standard or in the silver standard or some standard that we know that there is a match between the currency and something substantial? The same with housing. If there are homeless people, you're in a housing bubble. Now, the only way it could be is if you are building tiny houses with housing first model. You say, well, who's going to pay for, who's going to budget, who's going to this, who's going to that? Well, first of all, there are many things that the most important thing is the land. So now we ask, okay, what about the programs for the perspectives for the land and so on and so forth? Well, now you're getting into the policies of not only the country but the lobbying that affects the country. Lo and behold, those very extortion codes of these very lobbyings would be the one flipping your houses when you invest in a property that has tenants. So you can check the tenants from here to there. Begin to tend to the topic of extortion codes. How do they get people to do Epstein-like things? They torture them without the ability to come, to either die or come out of it. Now, if you go to that venue, then you're going to be completely in, how should I say that, risk of assassination that is 24/7. From within, from outside, from within even yourself, because these are personality codes. Okay? But once you know that that's the thing, try to think, what are the nervous system supporting? Not drugs. What are the nervous system supportive things? How do I provide that for me and my family? And how do I provide that? Not by means of extortion. The more we have people thinking about that, tending to that. Because otherwise, if I think about it, AI, the previous industrial revolution boom was taking manual labor. This industrial revolution boom is taking intellectual labor. So many of us would tend only to manual labor, and we needed to be liberated from that to think a little. And now a lot of us have a lot of beautiful philosophies and beautiful theories, but we actually need to apply them. Most of us weren't even thinking about housing because we didn't even believe that we could have a house. That we could have a house. So what were we doing? I don't know. Learning philosophy, learning. Now, a lot of people are exposed to the reality. You see, okay, if I can't afford having a family, so they don't have children. They try to push people to have children in all kind of force issues. That people say, okay, people are going to have typhus, the children are going to kill the parents. They show up with children that were born from rape. Women that poison the husband. Men that unalive themselves after divorce. They try to force people into marriage. They say, okay, the woman's going to poison the husband. To be a widow in such a society is the only way. Then there are the people begin to already understand that they have invested so much because they wanted to solve that with power. It's not solved with power, solved with sovereignty, with human rights, with a life that is to live a life. Then what happens when you try to force people to be in intimate relationships? People begin to speak up. Hey, that guy doesn't know how to respect a woman. That guy doesn't know. Hey, that girl doesn't do this. Doesn't do that. Okay. People begin to complain. And then when people see too much crime, they say, okay, where is this coming from? Okay, they torture people to torture people. Okay, who funds that? A classified projects budget. Okay, that's not just our taxes, it's our job opportunities, it's our human rights, it's our housing, it's our freedom of and from religion. It's our vacation. It's knowing that our country wouldn't do something stupid, that we wouldn't even be able to travel without being looked at as war criminals. So I think I gave many, many points. If you only understand that you try to check the tenets when it's those that lobby your government to torture your tenets away from the opportunities, then I already gave you a piece of information. Because if you try to check the tenets, check the tenets, here's the tenets. I'm not saying it's bad to check the tenets, but you're trying to go for the parameter that you think you can manage, while that parameter is managed by something that you never even tend to. Meanwhile, masses and masses of people, namely those tenants, feel disincluded in their own neighborhood, country, housing, society. That's a shit fuck of terror, shit ton of terror. And they will remember you as the person that wanted to check if a single mother can escape her violent husband to this apartment. Can I leave my wife? Because I'll have to pay for the children, but where will I stay? While not really being able to work with crisis and depression and oh, I tried to move out of my parents' house. Be sovereign, be independent. I ran into a freaking trafficking code. And then the people that own the estates are like, check the tenants and check the tenants, check the tenants. You're checking what? Now, I want to do a thought experiment with you. If you're an estate owner, think about the tenants that you had. I don't know for how long you had estate for the 5, 10 years, 15 years, and try to think of each and every tenant that you had. Now think about the tenants that were problematic, so to speak. Try to think what characterizes them. Were they a student, a single parent? Were they trying to escape work corruption, so they were beginning to have their own business? You will soon find out that some of the people you think were the most problematic tenants that you had were actually the easiest tenants you could ever wish for. Had they had the ability to leave. And also understand that having an investment property is having another house that you need to manage and somebody else lives there. Something happens to that tenant, it happens in your property. If you're a state owner, something happened to the tenant. They're paying for a place where they're safe and free. That's why they pay for the place. If they wouldn't think that they'll have a safe and free experience living there, they wouldn't rent that place. And if you're going to tell your tenant something like, and I heard it from a landlord, oh, in a place where it's safe for a woman to live alone, I don't have at that price range. But the price range was very, very hindered. What is he telling me? What is he telling me? I traffic women. If I'm being super generous with him, what else? What could I say other than that is he telling me? I don't know how to run a business model of being a landlord. Now, what's going to happen with such a landlord? The houses that he have in an area where a woman could live alone, these places going to get flipped. Not by these women doing anything. So a lot of people get aggravated. Why? They thought they're going to have an investment property, they're going to be a Rockefeller, they're going to be a, they're going to be outed in the next Epstein list. Now, if you don't know about these things that happen, then the best thing would be to go to the people that teach the basis. Real estate is first and foremost the right to mine minerals or gas and oil. Real estate is first and foremost allocation of resources. What is this place? What is the plan for this place? Who are in charge of the plan for this place? Who are the people who can alter the plan for this place? You say, oh, that's Freemasons. Okay, fucking tend to that instead of trying to check the tenets.